You can see the light beam about 3 feet.
Alrighty, Hal Canode out of Marion, Indiana. In the tower lane, he'll face Jeff Richardson out of Tipton, Indiana. A Donovan engine in the Canode machine and Keith Black Hemi power in the Richardson car.
And for you nostalgia buffs, that Donovan engine was based on a 1957 Chrysler Hemi style engine.
Still does the job in the spectator lane.
Actually, too much power from the Donovan. You saw Canode bouncing around a little bit, giving Richardson the win with a 635.
Backing him in, staging him on up here. Marty Thacker in the tower lane out of Robinson, Illinois. And in the spectator lane, Doug Doucette out of Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Well, certainly Doucette expected to do well here. Number 2 qualifier, and all he needs to do is stay sharp on the tree, and I think he's going to be the winner this time, Eric.
Doug Doucette is a feared competitor wherever he runs. Let's see how he does here at London Motorsports Park, St. Thomas, Ontario. They're away.
Both cars away pretty clean, and all of a sudden off the pad. Too bad we lost the camera angle on that. I'm sure there was some pretty serious driving, but look at that 615 by Doucette.
Marty Thacker getting in trouble about halfway down. Doug Doucette will advance.
Check this out, Eric. You can see the crewman placing the car right in the tire mark left from the burnout. That's where the track's clean. That's where it's hot.
Rubber on rubber is a lot better than rubber on concrete. And that's Bill Reichert's machine. He will face Russ Lindert. Reichert out of Owasso, Michigan, and Lindert out of Manteno, Illinois.
Reichert, your number 1 qualifier. He is an engine builder, and I believe this is only his 2nd year in Top Alcohol.
Lindert and Reichert, Top Alcohol Dragster. Oh, wow. Right off the line, Lindert had something break, and he never did get launched, did he?
Reichert drops a bit of a shot with a 627. I'm pretty disappointed with that. I thought he would have stepped up, as did some of the others.
Let's put all the numbers on the same page here. Anything you can see here with Dragster's trends or whatever?
That Richardson 486 reaction time is going to make a difference, and the guy it might make a difference is, look at Doucette in with a 602. Richardson's going to be a full car length out on him if they leave that way when they race.
And a tough break for Lindert, who broke on the line too.
It's, you know, it really makes the long tow home hard to do.
Top Alcohol Dragster now moving into the next round. Some pretty good competition in that first round, and let's see what develops here in round number 2. Zizzo in the tower lane and Reichert in the spectator lane, both Keith Black powered.
Reichert having the advantage from the previous round, and he takes the left lane. Looks like it was a good choice, Eric.
Oh, a nice noise, and yeah, that spectator lane is muddy quick here this afternoon. Bill Reichert will take it out of Owasso, Michigan. He advances to the next brackets.
Let's see if Doucette can pick up on that reaction time just a little bit. He needs to get down into the high 0.4 area, and this is when that driver is concentrating more than you can possibly believe.
Doug Doucette out of Winnipeg, Manitoba in the spectator lane, top of your screen. Jeff Richardson, Tipton, Indiana in the tower lane on the bottom of your screen.
Richardson knows he has to leave sharp if he wants to beat Doucette.
The spectator lane, though, has been awfully fast here this afternoon.
Reaction time's almost identical, but it sure doesn't matter. Doucette's going into his 2nd final in 2 years. Do you think that crew's unhappy, Eric?
Oh, well, you know, this is what you've got to do. Come down here and win, you know. Let's have a replay here.
You can see the technology of the bigger front wheel and the small front wheel. It didn't matter here. Both cars left identically.
So, side by side again, Zizzo, Reichert, Richardson, and Doucette.
The Doucette-Reichert matchup's going to be tough. Reichert's going to have to find a 1/10 of a second, as the reaction times are almost identical, Eric.
Should be a good round.
Well, a good run for Bill Reichert as he goes at 27, Bill. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bill, you've got young Ashley with you. Now, is this the crew chiefette?
Yeah, this is the crew chiefette,
Alrighty.
little Ashley.
Bill, the good news is 27 for you. The bad news is that Doucette just went a 17. Can you step it up?
I think we can step it up a little bit for this next round. We mainly concern ourselves with getting down the track clean and straight, and that's the first thing you got to do to win the race, is finish the race. So we'll step it up a little bit, and then we'll just see what happens.
Well, I'm sure Ashley wants to go back to the pits and make sure the motor's all right, so you guys go get to it.
She's got to check this motor out and make sure it's okay.
Go get him, Bill.
Thank you.
Lots more of the Can-Am Nationals from London, Ontario. Eric Thomas, Norm Noddle is going to go downstairs, do a little competing. John Maskingbird is here too. Let's go to Super Comp now. And our first pairing will be Bruce Barth out of Lakeland, Michigan in his 92 Beretta, and Don Schmidt out of Novi, Michigan, in his 23T Altered. Barth will go to the tower lane. Schmidt to the so far quicker spectator lane. Super Comp, not too hard to figure out. A Pro Light and your heads up on an 890. You go quicker than that, you're on the trailer and you are out of here. Barth and Schmidt. I'm all by myself. Norm Noddle's getting ready. He's got to compete in this Super Comp round. That's a little later. Right now, Barth and Schmidt will head down here. Nice launch for both. Remember the 890. You go quicker than that and you're gone. Little Roadster got off pretty quick. And a double breakout. And I guess it's the best of the worst, I suppose. So Bruce Barth picks up the victory in the first pairing of Super Comp. As I said, nice launch off the line. Get down to the traps here. And although the Altered is first at the line, he will lose because of the breakout factor. And Bruce Barth picks up the victory. Don Pocock out of Port Hope, Ontario in the 23T. And he will face our very own Norm Noddle out of Oakville, Ontario in his 88 chassis shop machine, 88 Chevrolet 482 cubic inch power. So Norm last year didn't have that greatest success here at London Motorsports Park. We're all waiting for him to do a little bit better this year. So we'll see what we shall see here. Second pairing in Super Comp here on Raceline. Both get off rather well. And an excellent reaction time for Noddle at a 4:14. Excellent when you consider that a 400 is perfect. Well, Bev McKee and the whole Noddle crew is pretty excited, and they should be too. Nice run by Norm Noddle, longtime drag racing champion out of Oakville, Ontario. Not a bad drag race commentator. I had to throw that in. Look at this thing again. And this is a reaction time race. As we mentioned, it's worth mentioning again, a 400 is perfect. The reaction time for Noddle, 4:14, and Pocock with a 4:74.
Yeah. Well, to say he's happy, to say the least he's happy. Norm, congratulations.
Boy, I'll tell you, John, that felt awfully good.
Now, listen, this is going to reflect on your paycheck because you're not doing a lot. Unlike last year where you went out in the earlier rounds. Yeah. Now you're going to go one more round at least.
That'll put us in the final, John. We're going into the final, and I think I had a bit of a reaction time advantage. I stayed close to him, and in the last few feet, I just touched the brakes, and that made the difference.
Well, good luck next time around. Go back up the tower and see Eric.
Will do. Thank you very much.
So Norm changes back into his civvies and makes his way back up to the broadcast booth. That's what it looks like on the stats page. Barth and Schmidt in the double breakout, and then Pocock and Noddle, and that great reaction time by Norm will put him into the Super Comp final.
The super stock category probably has the most classes in NHRA drag racing. You can approach it in several ways: standard, automatic, big V8, small V8, late model body, or an early style body. We've got Corvettes, Mustangs, anything you can think of. The idea is to run on the NHRA index for your class, or if you're quicker, as is this machine, you can dial a bit quicker than that. But the trick is, once you make that dial, you can't go quicker. You run your competitor, try and beat him to the finish line, and don't exceed the dial-in. We'll be watching for this 9-second machine to see if he can do it in Super Stock Eliminator. Dial-ins based on the performance levels of these cars. You can see Giles at a 9.48. He will get a 0.64 advantage over Gallagher. And watch this Gallagher machine, Eric. It is one strong super stalker, a door slammer in the 8s.
Chuck Gallagher in the tower lane facing Simcoe, Ontario's Rick Giles. Sunbird for Gallagher and an Oldsmobile for Giles. You're on board with Giles on the Sony Dynamax onboard Handycam.
One of the many F.J. Smith prepared cars. You'll see Giles get the handicap. Here comes his light. And what you didn't see, Eric, was that last amber stayed on. It came up a red light. He jumped the start. He went too quick, handing the win to Gallagher.
The race is over at that instant that Giles pulled the red light, and Chuck Gallagher in his Sunbird will advance.
Okay, Zawadzki at a 10.54, a 9.74 for Mowat. So you'll see Zawadzki leave earlier by 0.80. Here's the Mowat entry. He's a tough customer from Canada.
This is Richard Mowat out of Kitchener, Ontario, the 82 Camaro against Pete Zawadzki out of Sodus, New York in his 91 Pontiac.
Handicap of 0.8. Mowat was going to try and get by, and if necessary, just maybe tap the brakes rather than go under his chosen dial-in. Gonna be close. He's on the brakes. Mowat, your winner, 9.77.
Takes your mind back to that early 60s drag racing, cars doing giant wheelies on the line. These guys just launch skyward, don't they?
They sure do. Big 454s. Watch them just touching the brakes, Eric, in the left lane.